a young man considered an influencer of the faith, may have discovered the Virgin Mary's secret to transforming and saving families. Carlo Acutis, at just 15 years old, has left a profound spiritual legacy that can impact and change the destiny of many homes, including his own. In this video, you'll discover how Carlo's unique devotion to the Virgin Mary not only shaped his life, but also offers a path of hope and unity for families facing crisis. If you feel your home needs more harmony and protection, get ready to dive into this secret and find the peace you so desire. Carlo Acutis was a young man of simple but deeply radiant faith. Born in Milan, he found his greatest joy in the Eucharist, calling it the highway to heaven. All around him, Carlo inspired everyone, becoming a shining example of the modern Catholic Church. From childhood, his love for God was unusual and intense. For him, there was no point in seeking human recognition because, as he said, the most important thing is to be known by God. When he was just 12 years old, Carlo started attending Mass every day and saying the Rosary, spending hours in prayer. He firmly believed that, through Mary, any heart could find peace and consolation, especially in the family environment. For Carlo, faith was not a simple set of rituals, but a continuous experience. He described God's love as an invisible electric current, connecting all the members of a family and passing through Mary's heart. Whoever entrusts their home to the Blessed Virgin finds what is needed to strengthen and keep family love alive. When we learn more about Carlo Acutis, we realize how close he was to the Virgin Mary, with whom he had a special connection from an early age. He used to say that she held our hands and led us back to the heart of God. This unshakable trust in Mary made Carlo see her as a safe guide, especially in the difficulties that arose at home. His favorite consolation was the Rosary, which he described as the bond that unites each member of the family to God's love. Carlo experienced intense moments of spirituality on his journey of faith, and in one of these experiences, he felt that Mary was revealing an essential truth to him. The salvation of families begins with small gestures of love and prayer. Where there is forgiveness and sincere prayer, evil has no place. He believed that many family conflicts arise from the absence of prayer, and that the Rosary is a powerful weapon for restoring lost peace. For Carlo, it was as if Mary was saying to him, "Entrust the hearts of your family to me, and I will give them to my son." In addition, Carlo saw Mary's intercession as a secure bridge linking earth to heaven. He taught that by praying the Rosary as a family, the home was transformed into a small sanctuary where God could act freely. For him, Mary was like a mother who organizes the house so that her son can find everything in harmony. When we entrust our home to her, Jesus feels welcomed into our hearts, Carlo said, encouraging everyone to place their families under Mary's protective mantle and to remain united in prayer during the most challenging times. The Virgin Mary, according to Carlo, shows us that pain can be transformed into love by offering our worries and sorrows to God. He believed that families who unite in prayer find a special strength to overcome crises, no matter how serious they may seem. For Carlo, the secret was to trust fully in Mary's love and wisdom, especially at times when everything around him seemed hopeless. Having understood how Carlo found in Mary a key to dealing with family challenges, the time has come to reveal the secret he left for those who want to restore peace and harmony in the home. This secret is not complicated or distant. It is a practice that is accessible to everyone and which, according to Carlo, can transform the destiny of any family that adopts it with love and faith. Carlo believed that the daily practice of the Rosary was Mary's answer to protecting and restoring families. For him, the Rosary was more than a prayer. It was a daily encounter with God, mediated through the heart of the Virgin. He explained that by praying the Rosary, we are not just repeating words, but handing over the difficulties of our families to Mary and asking her to take these intentions to her son. According to Carlo, this practice has the power to open closed doors and heal deep emotional wounds, creating a spiritual barrier that protects the home from divisions and disagreements. He taught that each Hail Mary is like a flower placed in Mary's hands, which she transforms into graces to shower on our families. Even in hectic routines, setting aside time each day for the rosary can transform the atmosphere at home, bringing serenity and unity. For Carlo, this was a concrete way of ensuring that love prevailed over differences. He also stressed that forgiveness is a fundamental part of the secret revealed by Mary to restore families. Carlo said, "There is no family without faults, but it is in the ability to forgive that we find true strength." For him, the rosary not only connects us to God, but also transforms our hearts, helping us to release hurts and find peace. He always emphasized that where there is forgiveness, there is reconciliation, and where there is reconciliation, Mary is present. Another point Carlo emphasized was the importance of Mass and family communion. He believed that the Eucharist was the essential spiritual force for sustaining family ties. If we want Jesus to reign in our homes, we need to invite him to be present at our table, said Carlo, believing that attending Mass and receiving Jesus together was a powerful way to strengthen love and unity. Now that we understand the depth of this secret, which involves the rosary, forgiveness, and the presence of Jesus in the Eucharist, we can reflect on how to bring these practices into our daily lives. Carlo Acutis gave us a clear example. Don't wait for extraordinary miracles, because true transformation happens in small daily practices, in prayers said with love, and in moments of sharing as a family. Many families who have adopted the path indicated by Carlo Acutis have experienced profound changes. Couples who faced constant disagreements began to find more serenity by incorporating the rosary into their routines. One mother reported that after months of prayer, her estranged husband began to attend family masses again, not only with his body present, but also with a renewed heart. This is the kind of silent miracle that Carlo believed was possible, the restoration of bonds through faith and simple prayer. Another touching example is that of a family on the brink of separation who decided to follow Carlo's message. They began with a modest practice, praying a decade of the rosary a day, and gradually experienced positive changes in their coexistence. Little by little, dialogue and forgiveness began to be established between them. Carlo said, "Mary works with patience. When we give her even a small space, she works in silence and transforms everything." These testimonies confirm that faith is not just a vague hope, but a living, concrete force capable of transforming difficult realities. Carlo Acutis taught us that the transformation of a family begins with simple gestures and a constant spiritual routine. One of the most powerful steps is praying the rosary together. For those who are not in the habit of praying as a family, Carlo recommended starting gradually with a single decade a day. He explained that starting small is an essential first step in rebuilding our home. Although the ideal is for everyone to take part, even if not everyone does at first, perseverance will eventually bear fruit. In addition to prayer, Carlo also suggested setting aside time each week to go to Mass as a family. Participating in the Eucharist together creates a spiritual connection that strengthens the bonds between family members. He said, "The Eucharist is the moment when God comes closest to us. When we bring our family to it, it's as if Jesus enters our home, helping us to face every challenge." Carlo emphasized that you shouldn't worry about any distractions that may arise, but rather trust that Christ's presence will make a difference over time. Another fundamental aspect he emphasized was the practice of forgiveness. Carlo used to say, "There is no such thing as a perfect family, but there are families that love and forgive." For him, this meant learning to recognize one's mistakes and apologizing when necessary. Carlo believed that Mary teaches us to be humble, and that it is precisely in this humility that we find true peace. He suggested that at the end of each day, everyone say a short prayer together, asking God and each other for forgiveness for any misunderstandings. For those facing major family challenges, Carlo taught that hope must never be lost. Mary knows the needs of every heart and works in God's time, not ours, he said. In addition to the rosary and Mass, he advised going to confession, because God's forgiveness renews us and gives us the strength to start again. Even in crises, Carlo guaranteed that it was possible to rebuild the family unit with trust in Mary's love. He also suggested that every home should have a small altar or prayer space with an image of the Virgin Mary. This simple gesture helps to remember that the home is a sacred place, with the constant presence of God and Mary. Putting Mary at the center of your home is like opening the door for her to take care of every detail of your life, Carlo said. Thus, through simple steps, it is possible to bring light, unity, and hope into the home, transforming daily life through the power of faith. Carlo showed us that practices such as praying the Rosary and participating in the Eucharist have the power to restore broken homes and rekindle love where there was only hurt. He believed that every family, no matter how far from peace, could find renewal by placing themselves under the mantle of the Virgin Mary. His testimony is a reminder that spirituality is not a distant ideal, but a concrete path that we can walk every day. His teachings live on, inviting us to experience this change in our own homes. Carlo used to say, "Mary never gives up on anyone. If you put your family in her hands, sooner or later you will see God's work happen." Following the example of this young saint is a chance to bring more love, unity, and hope into the home. The great lesson Carlo left us is that, even in the most difficult times, there is always a way back to love, and that way is through the heart of Mary. If Carlo Acutis' message has touched your heart, like this video and share it with those who need this hope. Your like helps spread this content and inspire other families to find paths of faith and unity. Let us know in the comments how you have brought spirituality into your home and what changes you have noticed through prayer.